Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, Happy Thursday, everybody. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Come on in. Hello, Miss Somi. How are you? I still have a cold, so it's going to be pretty short because I need to go to bed. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. How's everybody doing? Uh, Somebody say hello. Somebody say hello. Somebody say hello. Hello, TikTok family. Hello, Miss Illinois. How are you? YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. How's everybody doing? How's everybody? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I am doing well. Making the best of the day. That's all we can do. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Let's give it some time. Let everyone come in because we've got quite a bit of, I think it's an important topic to talk about. It's something I've seen that has been causing a lot of issues for a lot of people. I feel much better than Tuesday, but I still need to, but much, much better than Tuesday. Hello, Annie Reaches. Sujola Hamed, how are you? Hi, Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, Miss Amanda. Appreciate that. All right, come on in, everyone. Let's talk immigration. How's everybody doing? How was your week? I hope you had a productive week. I hope that, in spite of what may not have gone your way, that you don't lose focus and don't lose hope that there's nothing too difficult for God to turn around. That is just the way it is. Thank you, Miss Illinois. If you're just joining us for the first time, if you just stumbled upon my page on either, any of the social media platforms, my name is Abisola Olale. I was going to say Odaje. It should have been true, but that's in story for another day. Abisola Olale, Abisola Adebola Olale, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If my voice sounds funny, it's because I got a cold, so bear with me. So if you're stumbling through, you're browsing through, stop by, listen to, we talk about immigration stuff every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, most Tuesdays and Thursday, maybe not every. 9 p.m. Alabama Central Time. So most of you on the East Coast, you'll be in Eastern Standard Time. West Coast, I think you're 2 hours behind. I don't know. I figure out. Alabama is Central Time Zone. So if you need to contact our office, our number is 334. Oh, really? Thank you. 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalelawfirm.com. Same number on WhatsApp that you can text. Info at Olale Immigration, info at Olale Law Firm. That's the email. And then at Olale Immigration is the username on all platforms. So that's a mouthful. Well, anyway, let's talk immigration. So this evening, it's going to be a pretty short evening. I'm not sure how we'll take questions. We'll see. Just depends on how I feel. But I wanted to come and talk about your DS-160 and your DS-160 and your immigrant visa. DS-160 and your immigrant visa. Basically, in a nutshell, how does your DS-160 application have a future effect on your immigrant visa petition and or application? That's what we're going to talk about so that you are in the know of what to look for in your case and, what if there are issues that you can spot. You would be in the know to know how to handle that or anticipate what USCIS may bring up against you. So, thank you. So DS-160 and your immigrant visa petition, immigrant visa application, what effect does it have? DS-160 is what the application you complete when you apply for a non-immigrant visa at any U.S. consulate or any U.S. embassy. So you're applying for a visitor visa, F1 visa, H1B visa, in a K1 visa, anything non-immigrant, you're going to be using the DS-160 application. One of the things that I've seen that's been a big issue that now has effect on people's applications when they arrive in the United States is a lot of people don't remember, thank you, Mr. Banner, that a lot of people don't even know that the information you provide to the consular officer during your interview at the embassy becomes part of your immigration record. So when you have an interview at the embassy, that embassies are under the umbrella of the Department of State. USCIS is under the umbrella of Department of Homeland Security. Two different agencies. However, both agencies are two of those departments that actually handle immigration affairs. What that means is their system is connected. They share information with one another. That's why when you do a FOIA request, we're able to pull up your DS-160 application and the information that you give during that time. If there are any notes from the consular officer as far as what transpired that needs to be part of your record, then they will put that. Thank you, Ms. Savannah. That will be included in your record. So what effect does your DS-160 have on any immigrant visa petition or visa application that you file? It can be the make or break between whether or not, or deciding factor, whether you get your green card or not. Here's why. Every information that you put in your DS-160 is going to be compared to the information that you provide when you apply for an immigrant visa, be it family-based, employment-based, based on humanitarian-based, or based on asylum. It will be compared to that. Example, you claim when you were coming into the country, you applied for a visitor visa, and then you told them, I have a wife and I have 4 kids, right? They let you in the country. And in your case, let's assume somehow it's already documented like the phone. And yeah. And then you provide a marriage certificate, right? Then you get to the United States, but you know all along that you were not really married. You get into the United States, you meet somebody, you get married, they file for you. You're completing your adjustment status applications, I-130, I-45. It would ask you whether how many times you have been married. And if you've been married, to list the names of your previous spouses. One common error a lot of people do, or one common mistake a lot of people make, is forgetting what they had indicated in that DS-160 application and then conflicting or contradicting their information on the immigrant visa application. But USCIS behind the scene is pulling up your record from this is what I tell people. From the very first time you make contact with the US government on asking for immigration benefit, US government keeps your record. It doesn't matter what department you're seeking immigration benefit from. As soon as you make contact with the US government and you seek immigration benefit, that becomes part of your record, so that down the road, if you're applying for something that's gonna contradict what you had indicated in your previous case, then that's going to be a problem. Another example, you have a parent who brings, who comes to the United States. They bring their children, right? And then that parent comes in. The children like the United States. They want to stay back. They're school age. And somehow they're able to get them in school. Everything is fine. Parent goes back home to wherever, Nigeria, Ghana, wherever the parent is back home. Down the road, one of the kids is a citizen, files for the parent to come back in. USCIS, Department of State, embassy, parent goes for an interview. Consular officer says, well, we're going to deny you, we're going to refuse your immigrant visa because the last time you went to the United States, we see that you took your children with you and you left them there and you came back. It may not be what your intention was, but when you apply for a visitor visa on your DS-160, it asks you what is your purpose of your visit. If you indicate, I'm going to on a vacation with my kids, then you leave those kids there and you go back to your home country. Time for you to now apply for immigrant visa. That information you provided on DS-160 contradicted what you said you wanted to do, which is you were going to visit the United States with your children. There was nowhere where you had mentioned that you're going to leave those children behind and then go back to your home country. Guess what? The U.S. Consulate embassy is going to refuse your visa. Why? Because they're going to charge you with alien smuggling. You wonder, like, exactly, especially your child. That is by law, by definition, by Immigration and Nationality Act, that is alien smuggling. Because now you have given them information on one application, and then that application now has an effect on the immigrant visa petition. That's one big area. The divorce is one thing. When you say you're married and you never got married, you were never married, then you file your adjustment of status. You say you've never been married. How many times have you been married before? You say once. You're called for an interview. The immigration officer is looking at you and giving you a chance to explain. And you say, no, I've only been married one time. Then they confront you with your DS-160. Most people don't even remember what they indicated. A lot of people actually have agencies who help them to complete those forms. The problem with agencies helping you is you don't get access to the information to put in your application. The only time most people will get access to it is if they now come against or face issues at the embassy when they're applying for an immigrant visa, or before USCIS when they're applying to adjust status. Because our people don't work with anything. I'm just seeing a whole lot of that. This is being the reason why someone is being denied. If you, for instance, there's a lady who had her VA case approved, but called for an interview. Why? Because something that was submitted that she had indicated was not what she said during her interview when she got the because I can't say what it is, but what she applied for the visa was a different document that she submitted during the VA case. VA was approved, but admissibility has to do with 485 has to do with admissibility. The fact that you have a VA approval does not guarantee at all that your green card application is going to be approved. A green card application is now centered on admissibility. Whether or not there are grounds of inadmissibility that's going to prevent you from ever getting a green card. In this case, because she submitted contradictory evidence, she never submitted the first document to USCIS. She submitted when she applied for a visitor visa. But USCIS has it in their record because they share information from one department to another. And based on that, her 485 was denied. She was told that filed a waiver with that and will reconsider. So whatever you put in your DS-160 when you're applying for a visitor visa, most people apply for a visitor visa, it is important to remember what you put in. It's been 10 years. That's where FOIA comes into play. FOIA is you submitting a request electronically to USCIS, telling them to give you a complete copy of your file. Sometimes part of that file may be with the Department of State. They also have their own FOIA process. Sometimes that part of the file may be with Customs and Border Protection. They also have their own FOIA system. Majority of people will be able to do just a simple USCIS FOIA and get the whole record in that. I cannot tell you how many times we do a FOIA request and like, oh, shoot, this is what you actually said when you apply for a visitor visa. We can't change that now, because once you start to contradict yourself, you are opening up doors for them to doubt anything, doubt your credibility. So that's the thing. Let's see. Some things now. Yeah, so information you have, yeah, it is imputed against you. And if you come in with your previous spouse, so let's say you were married, you come in as a married couple, y'all decide this marriage isn't working, you go your separate ways, and then somebody marries somebody else, the other person, everybody is similarly doing fine. If you claim, for instance, that you never came into the country, or you don't know what your spouse is, but USCIS has information of you traveling together, that's going to be your problem. If you say you've never been married, or for instance, there's a couple that um, they were married back in Ghana. This is a Ghanaian couple. They were married back in Ghana. The husband came in first. Wife and one kid came in later. Both of them ended up getting divorced and getting married to separate people. The issue, however, is wife claimed that they had a customary marriage. That's what the wife claimed. Unbeknownst to wife, when they all applied for visitor visa at the embassy, husband submitted a civil statutory marriage certificate copy. So that became an issue where wife's case was affected by husband's case because their information that they had given at the embassy now was contradicting the information they had given to USCIS. So what is the best way? Let's see. Yeah, so it basically, if you find that you have misrepresented some material fact, there's been reason to believe there's been a fraudulent activity or fraudulent action, USCIS or Department of State has the discretion to deny your immigrant visa, to deny your green card application based on whatever discrepancies actually happened in your DS-160. And we're talking sometimes of things that happened over a decade, sometimes 15 years ago. People never remember that could be a problem with them moving forward. So the best practice is, especially if you've had more than one filing. Say, for instance, you got married, that marriage did not work out, you didn't know about VAWA, and then you terminate that marriage, marry somebody else. Because you have that previous relationship and previous filing with USCIS, that most likely is going to be factored into a new case. Now, that means you have definitely built your record with USCIS. The best practice is to get your FOIA done, find out what your DS-160 says, find out what notes they had indicated in your first adjustment of status case, so that you're not flying blindly. You know exactly what is going on in your record, and you know how you can anticipate some things. For instance, I have someone who a lawyer was helping. They trusted this lawyer and all that. Turns out the lawyer made some, I don't even have to put it if it's, there are some information that was not true. The clients did not know. We did a FOIA request, got the records back, saw notes. This was not only did we see what the issue was, but USCIS also had notes, because most of the time they redact your record, but you may be lucky sometimes when you get their notes. This case, we had the notes where they had actually indicated that they believed that marriage was sham because of the lawyer that was on the case. The lady did not know anything about this until we did a FOIA request and review. That's one of the reasons why it's important to know what's in your record. You can anticipate where things may come from or how things may go based on what you see. So don't forget that, and most of us are here already, but most of us also do not have papers yet. We're in the process. Remember that if you're scheduled for an interview, for instance, there is a possibility that USCIS will pull your DS-160 information. So it's important for you to know if you have a copy of it, that's great. If you don't, get yourself down to do a FOIA request, get your complete record, know exactly what you had indicated so that you know how you're going to address your case. It would be absolutely the best decision for you to do a FOIA request of your records before you even file anything. Because once you filed something and then you get your records and it's something that contradicts one another, you've already filed it. So that means you've already submitted to them some information that contradicts information they already had. So if you're able to do that, where you get the FOIA request done before any filing, that's the best part. If you cannot, then you still can go ahead and do it while your case is pending. It will give you your information. You know what you had indicated, but it's just getting too many people are getting to the point where you're almost at the finish line, and then they just bring this thing up like, well, 200 years ago, before Jesus came back, this is what you said when you applied to visa in the United States. That's contrary to what you said. So just know your records and know your record, have that information, be knowledgeable about the steps that you're taking, so that helps you know what to anticipate in your case. Okay, let's see. So effect on your former spouse. Yes, your DS-160 information may have an effect on your ex-spouse. I just talked about if you come in together and y'all are saying two different things, meanwhile you apply for a visa at the same time, your one case may affect the other. That's just something to be aware of. Okay. Effect on future cases, yeah, and yeah, remember what you had submitted. I guess that's it, people. I hope that helps somebody to know how important your DS-160 is. But that's all she wrote. Okay, let's go to questions. I'll see if I can take I'm talking through my nose, so okay. Hello, Mr. John. How are you? 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Thank you for what you do. What happens when I apply for EAD renewal and it's yet to come and EAD expired? And can I use the extension to renew my driver's license? Everyone is still getting, at the very minimum, starting now, especially now, everyone is still getting a 180-day extension. Well, they say depending on the category, but most people are C9 or C8. That's where most people fall on. Whether or not you can use it for to renew your driver's license, that is a state-specific question. Disclaimer: this is just general information, nothing specific to anybody's case. So whether or not you can use a receipt notice to get your driver's license renewed will depend on your state. So that's not a question I can answer because that's a state-specific question. Hello, Ms. Zainab. How are you? Hi, Miss Creasy. Y'all gonna like this one. We're used to people say, I'm asking for a friend. This person is asking for their cousin. Asking for my cousin who was denied for his visa. Asking for my cousin who was denied for his visa due to his divorce from Nigeria. He filed an appeal and was denied again and was told the case has been closed. Please, what does that mean? That means that your cousin should sit down with a lawyer and discuss his case. Hello, Miss Christiana. How are you? 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay, let's see. Y'all, I may not be, because I took some medicine before I came on so that it can kick in and help me. So I think I'm beginning to feel it. Let me see. I'm just going to run through this. The more you know. What are you talking about? Let me see. I'm sure it's about me. Okay. Moral of the story: always do a FOIA request and exactly what you have on your record. Mr. Bennett, you could not have said that better than that. It's almost, Miss Pinky, I still haven't heard from you. I still haven't. Do you want me to forward the email to you again? Let me know if you need me to forward that email to you again. Yes, so that's the thing. FOIA can give you a lot of information. It helps you prepare better for any upcoming interview or anything like that. Okay, let's see. Okay. 1 second, if you kind of want to forget this. Okay, let me forward this to. All right, Miss Pinky, I just forwarded that email to you. So, okay. Let's see. Moral of the story: the more you know. Anthony said, I am doing well, much better today. Thank you for asking. Cousin, everybody says, hey, cousin, we greet you. Me too, Seth. I greet you. Don't come for me with my broken skills, so leave it alone. That's the first I'm hearing about cousin. I've heard brother asking for my brother, asking for my friend, asking for my fiance. That's a new one. Cause that's a good one too. I am doing much better today. Thank you for asking. Mm. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is we will reconvene on. I'm trying to see which one I can answer real quick. Well, okay. I think what we're going to do is on. Okay. Did we lose Miss Illinois? I think we may have lost her again. Let me see if I should send. Oh, Miss Sabina, did we lose her? I think we did, right? Anyway, so what we're going to do is, like I said, I just need to go rest and sit my butt down in like 10 seats and have several seats and get well. Oh, okay, you're still there. But I think on Tuesday, I will try to do not a try. We'll do questions on Tuesday. We'll do questions on Tuesday. So we'll do questions on Tuesday. And what's your other question, cousin? The first question you asked, the answer to that is the person, your cousin, needs to see a lawyer. What's the other question, real quick? Okay. While you come up with the second question. Legally entered, I applied for asylum and I got married. I have a combo card, cannot travel, not home. Disclaimer, nothing specific to your case. Generally, if you have a combo card through marriage and dependent asylum case, as long as you're not going back to your home country, then travel should be fine. That's the general information, nothing specific to your case. What is your other question? Because I'm going to sign off. Okay. Green card holder files for a minor child. Is going back to home country to pick up visa the only option? If the minor child, okay, so the minor children or children do not accrue a lawful presence as long as they're under the age of 18. So if your child is under the age of 18, then you're not worrying about a waiver. But if that child has overstayed, then the child will need to leave the country to apply for an immigrant visa if you are a green card holder. So in your case, you're saying you're a green card holder, filed for minor child. How old is this minor child? How minor is minor? As long as the child is okay, as long as the child is under 18, the child is not as long as the child is not under 18, a child under 18 does not accrue in lawful presence. So what that means basically is they will not need to file a 601A waiver for unlawful presence. But being that they've overstayed, they will not be able to adjust until you become a citizen and that child still remains a minor child under 21, or the child goes to the embassy in your home country or wherever to apply for immigrant visa. All right, so y'all, I think I've overstretched it this week, but I was like, you know what? Should I come on live? Should I not come on live? I'm so I just need my bed. Yes, that's what I intend to do this weekend, to shut it down and just really, because when I tell y'all that my job is very stressful, it's very, very high pressured. There's a lot that, and I've got colleagues that I see what happens. So you've got to take, I will take care of yourself. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And just bear with me. So on Tuesday, we'll come back together. We'll have questions session on Tuesday. Till then, y'all, everyone take care. Encouraging words for tonight. Just don't give up. Some days are going to be heavier than others. Heavy, you know what I mean. Some days are going to be lighter than others. But through it all, through the heavy days, through the storm, through the fire, there's the promise of the word of God that he would never leave us, neither would he forsake us. So as long as we stand firm on that, reminding ourselves constantly that in spite of, he would always show up. God would always show up. So that helps to get through those heavy days, so that when those lighter days come through, you don't forget who helped you through those heavy moments, through those dark moments, to get to where you need to be. And all I ask is, let's just keep asking, lifting each other in prayer, one another in prayer, believing God for all our testimonies. Our testimonies are going to be at different times, but we are agreeing in faith and speaking into existence that all our stories will end in praise, that we'll always come back to at the feet of mercy and throne of grace, which is God, to thank him for how far he has brought us. We haven't come to this country to fail. And I pray that, God willing, we shall not, hello, Final Shandy, we shall not fail. All our purposes that for which he has brought us this far on this journey shall be fulfilled. God willing.